this is all of the Dawn pirates and their abilities explained. Let's begin. First up, Zetsu. Zetsu was a Venus flytrap born in paradise that ate the human in fruit, giving him, his appearance. He's able to grow Venus flytraps from his arms and use them to attack people, or just use the Venus flytrap currently on him to attack people. Since he's a plant, he can asexually reproduce himself, creating a variety of clones, and grow roots, so that's pretty cool. Hidan, eater of the eternal no Mi. This devil fruit is quite special because it allows the user to never ever die. Not unless every single one of the user's molecules has been destroyed. If they fall in the sea and they drown, their body will stay like that until they are taken out or unsubmerged in water. The body will then revive itself. If they are killed while wearing sea stone, the corpse will remain inanimate until the sea stone is removed from it. Hidan uses the weapon to inflict self-harm on himself to attack his opponent. The way that works is that when they're in close combat and their weapons are locked, he can hide his weapon from view, then attack his opponent through his own body, thus permanently injuring only his opponent. Deidara ate the munch fruit, which manifested peculiarly on his hands. He's constantly hungry, but he uses his penchant for explosions to counter that. He constantly carries around clay and then eats it with his mouth hands to mix them inside his body and create explosions. He can also use the looking glass in his eye there, to shoot them as if they were projectiles. To be clear, the most powerful bomb is when he uses the mouth created on his chest to create an explosion that destroys everything within 10 kilometers. Kakazu. He ate the wire fruit. Its properties are similar to the string fruit, only the wires are much thicker and deadlier, though they have a shorter range. He can use them on his body to do long-range attacks, much like the gum fruit. He said with I'm doing finger quotes for the gum fruit, for just the word gum. He can also use it to take people's hearts and put them inside himself. That way, and other people's lungs. That way, if he receives damage to any of his vital organs, he can replace them. He can also use it to create multiple dolls using people's hearts, though it only usually works with strong people's hearts. And those dolls will usually have set attacks made because of the ingrained hearts of strong people. Sasori. He ate the doll fruit. This allows his body to become doll-like and to turn other people into dolls once he takes them down. He can then control these dolls and himself to attack others and carries them in the weird thing, backpack. He is able to compress them to the point where he's able to do it quite easily. To clarify, the doll he turns himself into has many attack properties, such as weapons. This includes the others he makes. Orochimaru, eater of the snake fruit model Yamato no Orochi. He most often uses this as his hybrid form to stretch his arms into snakes and attack people with venom. However, his hybrid form allows him to become an 8-headed snake that can only be killed if you cut off all his heads. And all heads must be cut off within a short period, or because due to experimentation on his own body, he's able to make the heads regrow. They can also shoot out fire and poison and the likes. Kisame, eater of the liquid fruit, a Logia, one of the only Logia types. Ironically enough, he himself didn't eat the fruit, his sword did. The sword is able to expel water or liquids that Kisame himself is able to control and swim around him due to being a fishman. His most favorite attack is to create a giant bubble of water and trap himself and his opponent in it, and then wait for them to drown or attack them himself. Conan, one of the 3 red clouds, the most powerful people in the Dawn Pirates, aside from the captain. Her ability allows her to create pieces of paper that, when imbued with armament hockey, are much stronger than most metals. She can also fold, but they're actually still easily foldable, so she can make weapons. She also turns herself into paper, though she can't do her entire body. Also, she can fly. I should probably have mentioned that. She was one of the people who has known the captain the longest, and due to being slaves together, they have bonds that run stronger. She, out of pure loyalty, in terms of loyalty, she is number 1. Though to clarify, all of the pirates are pretty loyal. Dawn Pirates. Toby/Obito, whichever you prefer. He makes use of the chains in fights by wrapping them around his opponent and pulling them into his own dimension. Speaking of which, he ate the dimension fruit. He's able to make portals in front of him right when people are about to hit him that warp them to another dimension. After that, he either lets them pull the attacking limb out or attacking object out, or he closes the portal, causing them to lose the object or the limb they attack him with. People with strong armament hockey are able to resist this, though, so he doesn't often use it. He most usually prefers either sneak attacks or launching objects at them using the dimension fruit. He often uses chains imbued with armament hockey to keep them in place while he attacks them. To clarify the armament hockey means that as the portal closes in on them, it's unable to cut them. Itachi, eater of a mythical Zoan type, a Dolus. It allows him to turn into an angel with eyes all over its body and wings. However, it's not exactly easy for him to move in this state. I mean, he can still move, but just not as agile. In this form, looking into his eyes can hypnotize you, and to those too far gone under his subconscious, he can actually make you think the illusions are real and thus cause actual damage. People with Conqueror's hockey can break people out of it or themselves if need be. His hybrid form allows him to acquire the wings and the eyes, though he's not as big. However, combined with his blade work, he doesn't need to be. He is the first mate. Now, Nagato, or Pain. When they were kids, Conan, and Yahiko were slaves. One day, a celestial dragon was prancing around with this weird fruit. At this point, Nagato was desperate, so he ate it. That was a mythical Zoan type, model Gaia. He became, well, pretty strong given the, yeah, he became pretty strong. And broke himself and many others out and slaughtered everyone there, everyone who wasn't a slave. He was friends with Conan and Yahiko, but Yahiko had died previously. After which he sought the path of peace, but thanks to, oh, so yeah, he's a Yonko, by the way. After which he sought a path of peace that would have been detrimental to everyone currently. Though after doing battle with another Yonko, who I think you all can guess, he saw the error of his ways and decided to go about a less harmful way to peace. His devil fruit allows him to turn into a being of life and death, though it's not like God. It's pretty powerful. He creates these poles that can imbue corpses with life and new power, though they're still under his control as if they were puppets. In fact, his friend Yahiko is one of these puppets. They also gain their own special powers. However, when he goes into his Gaia form, he's unable to move and usually relies on one of the 3 clouds to move him around. His ultimate form is his hybrid form, in which he must take all 6 of his pawns and absorb them into himself. In this form, he has all 6 of the powers, and he becomes pretty unkillable. Also, he gets regenerative powers. I probably should have told you that. Well, I hope you enjoyed all of the Dawn Pirate's abilities. In the description below, there is a link to the original video, so I do hope you go check that out. The ship is there as well. Alright, bye!